about the premature ovarian failure diagnosis as well as my journey so far with IVF. In today's video, I wanted to talk about how I'm preparing kind of physically and mentally and relationship-wise to have my IVF procedure. I don't know exactly when the IVF procedure is going to be, so I'm just kind of always in prep mode. So this week I noticed on my IVF patient portal that they shared an article about getting prepared for IVF and your transfer. So I read that and I just thought I'd share like what I took away from the article, and then how I'm implementing that already and what I plan to do based on the article. I'll share the article in the description below if you're interested. And what I liked about this article is that it's like pretty no nonsense type tips. Like it's not, cut out a whole food group from your diet, or just there's some wild tips that I've heard as far as like what foods to have, and then like remove all scented candles and stuff. Like, not that any of it's bad necessarily, but it's just like some pretty basic tips and like good reminders of what's the most important and going to make the biggest difference, because like I think ultimately with pregnancy, like all types of people get pregnant out there, so I don't think it's like the biggest deal to avoid some things, even if it might be the most healthy for you. Like, yes, maybe removing scented candles is like the healthiest thing that you can do, but I think that that's like a 1 or 2% thing versus like a 50% thing, like as far as like impact of that change. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and get into the tips from the article. So the first thing it talked about was taking care of your physical health, and like the 3 biggest things along with that is eating healthily, getting enough sleep, and exercising. So those are all pretty basic things. I think that like whenever I go to like take care of my physical body, like those are the things that I always try to focus on, and especially now I'm focusing on getting enough sleep and making that a priority, not trying to get up too early or stay up too late, just really making the hours that I am up more productive, and getting a good sleep and wake up routine going. So there's that. And then eating healthily. I don't like to be on any sort of restrictive diet. I'm trying to get away from all that, any calorie counting, removing like any foods. I just don't think restriction works well for me, and it's kind of stressful also to have that in the back of your mind and to devote too much of the day towards that. So, but along with that, I do try to eat foods that are, actual foods, not too much processed stuff, make my own foods, and try not to overeat, try to pay attention to what I'm actually feeling, like if I actually want to eat something, am I hungry, stop when I'm full, that kind of stuff. And then with exercise, again, not going anything too hard or regimented, but I really like to take walks. I like to do yoga, and I like to do some strength training type stuff, especially like with premature ovarian failure at a higher risk for osteoporosis, and having more muscle mass helps with that. So I try to do some strength type stuff. I'm not like a heavyweight lifter by any means, but doing some resistance type activity is really good for that. So and then I think the 2 biggest changes that I made as far as preparing for the IVF would be to cut out artificial sweeteners. I was big into having Diet Coke. I think most of my friends who've known me for a while know that I really like diet soda. Like I went through a Diet Mountain Dew phase and a Diet Coke phase, and I have not had any of those. I can't remember the exact day that I stopped having that, but I think it was back pre-quarantine even. Like So Diet Coke is no more. And then yeah, chewing gum was also a big thing, and those both have a lot of artificial sweeteners. So if I want something sweet that isn't going to be actual sugar, then I try to pick something that has stevia in it instead, and cut out the artificial stuff. And then caffeine has been another thing that I've got rid of as far as preparing for the IVF, because I have heard that that's helpful, because having caffeine kind of causes stress on the body. And it wasn't, at first it was hard to get used to, and like iced coffee season has been hard, but I've gotten used to making my own iced coffee, and also learning how to order that at the coffee shop, and they can kind of jerry rig a way to make it for you if you order it as an Americano. Let me know if you're interested. So those are the two biggest changes that I've made, and I don't see those as major sacrifices. It was hard to get used to at first. Obviously, like caffeine is a drug, so it's hard to get used to not taking it anymore. But now that I haven't had caffeine since January 1st. So now that it's been, over 8 months without it, it's not a super big deal to me anymore not to have it. Then the next thing that the article mentions is to focus on your mental health. So for me, that is definitely doing talk therapy. I've still kept consistent appointments with my therapist this whole year. She actually specializes in infertility related concerns, and also just like dealing with medical issues. And I have, the premature ovarian failure, and I have some other health stuff going on. So having her is really good, because she has experience with helping patients with that, and then also experience with infertility treatments. So she is super useful and super helpful with her therapy. So I'm really grateful for that. And then from the article, I really took away journaling. I was in a huge habit with journaling earlier in the year, and over the past 2 or 3 years, really in habit of journaling. But I was kind of doing like a journaling prompt. It was a prompt I made for myself, so it wasn't like, I know there's some journals that you can buy, or planners and stuff, that kind of prompt you through journaling. And that's not what I was doing. It was just kind of a prompt I made for myself, but even that kind of got too stringent. So something that the article suggested was just to free write every day for a little bit about how I'm feeling, and just get that all out there. So I think, and that's something I've been trying over the last few days, and I want to get back into my habit of doing that, because I do find it really helpful, and it's also nice to like have that to look back on too. So the journaling, I think, will be really great for my mental health, and just kind of as an activity to do. And also mentioned creative pursuits, and that is something I've found hugely helpful. I like to put some energy into a creative project, and that's just super helpful for my mental health. The last main category of the article was about reviving the romance, and I think that that's like probably an even bigger deal if you're doing IVF as a as like the kind of the end of options in treatment. Like I know some couples that are dealing with infertility, it's like they've been trying for over a year, and then they started one fertility drug and then another treatment, and then now they're going to IVF. So I imagine, at that point, like it's hard to feel romantic about intimacy and stuff. But so reviving that's super important. But I think ultimately for our relationship, it's good to have that romantic connection. And what I took away from the article was like to enjoy the moment that we're in, as far as enjoying this time like without kids. And I have no kids, that it's something that I want a lot. I know that not every part of being a parent is easy, like getting alone time with my spouse or alone time for myself. just enjoying that we have that right now. Like we can spend time together and have that. So it helps build a good foundation for us as a couple to be good parents. So that was a nice reminder and helps me stay happy and grateful for right now. So I thought it was a really good article and just wanted to share what I thought about it, and also my what my experience is as far as preparing for IVF. Thank you so much for watching today. I'd love it if you would subscribe if you're enjoying the videos, and also like and comment. Love hearing other people's experiences. Thank you again so much for watching.